Hello, test, test. Alright guys, welcome back to Performance Racing League. This is Ramsey. I'm just hopping in late here because it wasn't my turn to do comms. Um, if someone wants to join me, I will jump into the Discord commentators chat right now. It'll take me a minute. And it should work out. It's round 7? Round 7 of Season 8 in Performance Racing League. Las Vegas, a dreaded track for most. We already have really good lap times here in short qualifying in Tier 1. Jesper with a 32.3. I believe that was roughly the median in Premier just now. I know there was no commentary for Premier, so if you guys want a little bit of a summary, I'll go through it during the break. And we have Gortsov on the lap here. In Sector 1, I should probably set things up. Very curious how the setup composition is going to look on this grid. We had some people with insanely low wings in Prem, which worked out pretty well for them. I may have been the one running the highest wings, roughly around 10. Felt really good and stable, and that's what I was going for in this race. Gortsov's actually getting an accidental tow here, or maybe not. It's his teammate, so well done. Up 4 tenths on this previous time. So we're looking at a potential 31 here. Super impressive, these guys in Tier 1. The top 5 or so. I smell a lot of promotions for next season. Look at that, 32.1, beating pole time by roughly 2 tenths. Well done, well done. Now let me see if I can quickly jump into the chat here so people can possibly join me if they want. Okay, well, I'm in the commentators chat. If anyone wants to join me. Who else could we jump on with? Jesper getting a lot of attention. I know he's on a hot lap there, but let's check out what Rusty's up to. Oh, that's not a fast lap. Willy Bronco is on a fast lap. Hi, Sadie Jackie. Welcome to the stream. Good luck at the race later in Tier 2. Broncos up 3 tenths here. We'll probably hope for a bit more than that. Bit of a wiggle here in the chicane, easy to do, especially with low wings. See what he can muster up. Gonna be in the 32s, hopefully. 32.897. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Here, I think Jesper is just finishing. No, aborting that lap. There's a Ferrari on an out lap. Let's check out what Tar Heels can do. Just partook in our race in Premier as well. Not exactly sure where he finished, but he may have hit the wall just before the long straight there. I only know that because I was pretty close. Just have to test the audio here so you guys can hear me well. probably turn myself up a little bit. Hopefully that will help. The Tar Heels apparently purple sector in sector 2, but then misses the apex here completely. So that will cost him quite a bit of time. I would also like to welcome back Nico John on the grid. It's been a while. Really nice to see a veteran race again. Wish him all the best for this race. Tough track to come back to. I'm not sure why the hammer is retired already. Oh, Tar Heel's not setting a lap. That's too bad. See what Cersei Sucks can do. We have a 34.3, which is an improvement. It puts him in 10th. Rusty on a fast lap. Check out what the Alpine boys can do here, and then I believe the next one in line will be Lucozade starting a lap. Pretty hooked up here through those corners. Have a decent front wing setting. And I'm gonna switch over to Lucozade, as Rusty is not exactly improving right now. Curious what Lucozade can do. Oh, and I just missed it. Rusty retired from the session. He must have hit. Yeah, spun out of that last corner before the ultimately long straight. I missed that. Very controlled here through the middle section. Not going full throttle, very measured. Looks like an improvement to me. I mean, it should, looking at the sector time there. Let's see, yeah, almost 4/10, solid. Let's see if we can bring this into the 32s. Very close to the wall, takes all the track available to him, very nicely done. So almost straight lines it through the chicane here. Ah, just about. It brings it up to 6th, a 33.0. Very well done. And let's go to Mr. Hex, who's now also on a fast lap. Has a McLaren in front of him. Not sure if they are on a fast lap. Yeah, looks like they are. So may get a decent tow down the straight. Really interesting to see people's braking points around this track. There's actually quite a bit of variance. Obviously setup dependent as well. Timer just ran out, so everyone who's not on a lap right now won't be able to improve. Let's see what time Jesper can set. No, he's diving into the pits. And there's a yellow flag. Interesting. She's abandoning their lap as well. And Hex improving just slightly and staying in third for now. Let's see what Bronco can do. Up 3/10. Well done. Jumps Lucas 8 up into 5th, and Lucas 8 finishing their lap now. May not be improving here. Yeah, unfortunately not, but that's a great result for Lucas 8, the Williams driver, in 6th. And Word Sauce, I don't believe they're improving here. But we also have Demur on a lap. I wonder if Word Sauce was simply giving them a tow. No, they're both hitting. But we still have Nico John, who unfortunately invalidated. So that should be it. I read that Heiskran crashed out early in the qualifying, so they are going to be last. Sorry to have missed that. Not a popular track. So far, both sessions have had less than 15 drivers. I can understand that. Yeah, if you're just joining now, welcome back to Performance Racing League. This is round 7 of season 8. I'm Ramsey, coming straight out of the Premier race. And yeah, hopping on here again for Aiden and Base. And as I said before, if you guys want to join me on the commentary, just hop into the commentators chat on Discord and you'll be live right here with me. While we have a chance, let's reduce one setting here. I find that the cars are usually a bit too loud. I'm guessing the master volume. Okay, so our pole man, Gortsas, 32-1, quite a bit ahead of second, 32-3 by Jesper. So that's a nice showdown we're gonna have here. The two championship protagonists, I believe, if I remember the standings correctly. Then you have Mr. Hex, who's also close. The Hammer with a solid result, retiring early in 4th. Bronco in 5th. Lucas 8 in 6th, maybe the best qualifying they've had this season. Electric Days on the podium last race in 7th. Demur as well in 8th. Cheese in 9th, and Rusty with a terrific result here in 10th. Cersei Sucks in 11th, and Nico John in 12th, who's returning to the grid. And then we have Tar Heels and Heiskran, who didn't end up setting a lap. Quite a bit of tire use there by most. Oh, I'm sorry to read that, Cheese. You don't have a setup. That's painful. I am sad to hear that. So a little bit of a recap on the race prior to this. The Prem race had a bit of a glitch. We had to restart the lobby. But then afterwards was fairly clean. I believe one driver crashed out by themselves. I'm not sure exactly because I was just behind but not close enough. And then we had two SCs in total, one on lap 1 and one on lap 20, I believe. Very clean racing, just as last week, I have to say. Things are improving, even though it obviously helps to have less drivers on the grid. Yeah, happy. The late safety car wasn't beneficial to yours truly, Ramsey here. I would have had to double stack with my teammate, which would have put me last, so I decided to stay out. I got a great restart, but yeah, in the end, I dropped from 4th to 6th, unfortunately. But still, it is what it is. Sometimes you end up with a short stick. Let's look at the standings here of Tier 1. So we have Jesper in first with 230 points. Oh, I see this is not updated for Brazil yet, so we're just gonna ignore that. And so these are the results after taxes. Gortsas in second, 72 points behind. I believe that distance is a bit smaller now because they finished ahead of Jesper last race. Mr. Hex in third, 143. Equal was Spot, who I haven't seen here in a while. Also 143. So then we have Bronco in fifth with 132 points, and then concludes the list that's within 100 points of the leader. After that, we have Dummer in sixth, the Hammer in seventh, Cersei Sucks in eighth, Femi Thrustmaster in ninth, Rusty Oil Can in 10th, Palani in 11th, Nico John in 12th, Tiger Jr., also haven't seen them in a while, in 13th, Tar Heels in 14th, Craig in 15th, Lucas 8 in 16th, Sheriff Shaft in 17th, Flabmaster in 18th, Ray in 19th. Someone told me that was Sabi Ninja last race, so they should get some more points. And then Cheese in last in 20th, but they missed a lot of races. Here we are. Oh, no formation lap, correct, so we're good to go. Let's jump on with Mr. Hex and the Hammer here. Top three getting a great start. Bronco running a little bit wide. Electric Days on. Let's hope the teammates work together here. And we have the Hammer spinning out. Oh my god. And it causes a calamity, forcing Bronco to evade him, going into the wall. And Lucasade's caught in the mess as well. And ironically, the Hammer survives the whole carnage, not even missing his wing. Wow. So we have a safety car in lap 1, just as the last race. Yeah. This track, the first sector is really deadly on lap 1. Everyone's so close together, and yeah, I mean, the Hammer made a mistake, but you can't blame him for what came behind him. Really too bad for Bronco and Lucas8. Not sure how often this happened to Bronco. I know Lucas8 has been terribly unlucky this season with these kind of stinks, so sorry to see that. Very sorry. Lucas8, if you're hearing me, why don't you jump in here to the Discord chat? We can have a laugh. Bronco texting that I'm not even mad, I didn't want to race this track anyway, thanks for saving me from 40 minutes of pain. That's hilarious. Electric Days, no, I don't think you did anything wrong from my point of view. Bronco had to evade the spinning Hammer. This game is notorious, you know, for not ghosting cars, so it's something to be aware of. And we have a few people pitting, which is Demur and Rusty. Rusty doesn't have a wing, so he was involved somewhere as well. Demur has damage as well. And then the Hammer is pitting. Must have damage too then that we can't see possibly. Putting on the media, or it's just a strategy call. So I did something similar in my race. It worked out really well. So that's a good move. So I believe the top 4 here is unchanged. Nico John benefiting a lot from this carnage. Up 3 positions. 7 positions, sorry. Electric Days up 3, and everyone behind, of course, as well. So Demur, the Hammer, and Rusty losing out, and Lucas8 and Bronco unfortunately caught in the yeah. Yeah, okay, let's check out the strategies. What tires are people on? Fastest lap doesn't matter right now. So we have only 3 people stopped, so no huge gambles here, but a lot of people started on the mediums. I failed to catch that at the start. I forgot we wouldn't have a formation lap. Only high ground starting the race on the hards. So if the race stays clean after this, he may have some sort of pace advantage there. Demur going on the softs. Yeah. There's a scenario in that which this can work out really well for him. The safety car should be coming in this lap. So unlike last week, that was really an unforced incident there. The hammer simply spun out. There was no atrocious racing or anything like that. It just kind of happens, and in that spot, coming out of that blind corner, I'm really not surprised that people lost their wings and lost their races over that. That's very hard to avoid. Restart is quite crucial here. The thing is that because the DRS is so powerful on this track, and you have 2 laps without it, you absolutely need to build a gap, and that goes specifically for Gortsas here, because he obviously won't have any. So either you strategically give up the position, or you build a gap. I'm very curious to see when he's going to go. So we're gonna stick on board with Jesper here. Jesper doing the smart thing and locking in his throttle and braking. Yep, there you go. Mr. Hex gives a tremendous launch, and he may be able to take Jesper here. See if they can keep it clean through turn 1. Hex actually runs quite wide and gives an opportunity to Electric Days, but has the better line. There's a bit of action in the back here.
Ooh. Hey Ramsey, you there?
Oh, hey Lucas8. Thanks for joining.
No, nice to be here, man. Thanks for inviting me on. Bit of, yeah,
Yeah,
one of those things, you know.
Bit unfortunate for you again. I'm sorry to have seen that. I just checked, and people can hear you on the stream, so everything's working great.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, thanks for having me on again.
No worries.
You know, I think you summarised it well. It's just one of those racing incidents, you know. It just happens. It's life. We move on.
Yeah. So was it because of the hammer spin there that you had to avoid as well?
Yeah, but it was a bit like one of those things, you know, where they spin and you see there's one gap you can take. You know you can't brake in time. If you try and brake, you're going to run into them. So you go for the gap, lift a little bit, and then obviously they just sort of go into that gap. Yeah, no one's fault really.
No.
It's just life.
Yeah, the exact same thing happened to Bronco ahead of you. He actually almost
I hit Bronco in the end, to be fair.
Oh, okay.
Bronco I hit.
Yeah, they almost took out their teammate too, so Electric Days got pretty lucky there. Running in 4th right now.
But yeah, nice job covering it. But anyway, it looks like the racing's really nice and close though, so I'll let you get back to it, man.
Oh yeah, no worries. We have a few pretty small gaps, but from my race in Premier, I noticed that around this track, you're basically the gap only counts on the exit of whatever turn that is before the long straight. Otherwise, the gaps don't really matter around here. You're just kind of stuck.
Yeah, it's a crazy track.
Yeah. I mean, I think in my race I may have been the guy with the highest wing settings because I was catching up people a lot through this sector here, through sector 2.
Yep.
And then I was in a good position if I started the straight, you know, in DRS. But if I was out of DRS, I basically lost a second down that straight. It was pretty brutal.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's one of those tracks, like you say, it's all to do with the straight line speed on those straights, and you can be the best driver in the world, but if you're not running that high speed setup, you're just going to get swallowed up. Oh, as Nico John runs wide, is he okay?
Oh,
he's
I
ghosted.
missed that.
Does he have damage?
Looks, I mean...
Looks okay.
Yeah, looks okay. If anything, might be slight damage, but that's going to open the door for a lot of drivers here. Ooh, may end up in a bit of a pickle. We have 3 wide down the straight with Heiskran, the Hammer, Nico John. Ay.
Good defending from Nico though. He's back after I think a 3
Oh,
weeks.
and he loses it. Oh, and Nico's back on the wall.
Oh no!
Double whammy. He'll definitely be pitting. And that gives a huge gap to the top 4.
If you're going to do it anywhere, do it just before that pit entry line.
Yeah, so exactly. Oh, Gortsauce has been overtaken by Hex after lap 1 here, turn 1. Jesper right behind him.
All over the back of him as well. All 3 of these drivers with fantastic early season pace, really looking like the favourites to actually win this season. And it's great to see them fighting wheel to wheel. And Electric Days getting really in the mix now. Had quite a decent showing last week and trying to sort of prove himself in that Mercedes. His teammate unfortunately DNFing on lap 1. But yeah, really nice close racing between all 4 of them.
Yeah, let's hope they can keep it clean. Jesper just had a bit of one of those laggy setbacks. I witnessed that. It's strange because nobody left the session.
Yep, Cersei got overtaken by Rusty in the meantime, the 2 Alpines. But they're going, no contact it seems.
Bit of a teammate swap, and then Electric Days tries the move just before the straight. Interesting. But he kept the DRS. I mean, they both have it, to be honest. So this will be just a drag race.
Oh,
wow.
They are close to touching on that straight.
Holy. And then the guys up front are also right next to each other. Nico John decides to retire.
Nico has fun.
Oh.
On sector 1. Turn 5, that sort of turn 5 chicaney technical section. Must have made a little mistake. Maybe I think if you hit that curve a bit too aggressively, you can unsettle the car and you can end up in a barrier.
Yeah.
That is the second safety car.
Fresh. He was on fresh hard tires, probably not fully warmed up, and the top 4 they're all pitting. That's a kind of aborted the showdown into that last corner chicane there. They all had to get out of the throttle, but who knows? Maybe they avoided something worse. So Electric Days.
Tire choice would be really interesting here because I think I would probably go on to a set of mediums and do a medium soft from this point. But it looks like Demir's gone for the soft. I guess you could do soft medium, so any alternative if that's okay. High scram.
Yeah, Demir.
So the people that fit. Jesper's gone to the hard tire, which I said that's the one thing I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, so the hard can definitely go to the end from here. It's just gonna be very slow at the end. I actually tested this in the practice race yesterday, and I pitted off the softs on lap 3 and did the entire race on hards. But I was doing a minute 39s at the end, so you're toast if there's a safety car or something. So Electric Days back onto the mediums. He started on mediums. So
yeah, medium soft for him, I imagine.
Yeah, so basically the opposite of what I did. Gortsauce and Mr. Hex going on to the softs. So those will definitely not make it to the end, but they will be
medium,
rapid.
Soft, medium, I imagine for them.
And then
it's
the
interesting
top.
that you say one on the hard tire because my brain was definitely thinking hit onto either the medium or the soft, and then just use the inverse for a last stop. Especially as I do feel there could be another safety car.
Yeah, I think that's what they'll be banking on, right? I mean, and as I say, the hards will make it to the end in terms of They're not gonna explode on you, but they're not gonna be great. You definitely lose a lot of time. So, is this actually? You know what? This might actually be the one track in the game where a two-stop may be just viable even without a safety car.
But it is so hard to race around on the hards, like you say, especially when they get worn. I think Jesper's great in tyres, though. Very much seen. He's a driver that's good in the wet. He's good with sort of those conditions where he's got to be a bit more careful, and he's good at eking out tyre performance. So it's interesting. My only worry for him is, will Electric Days, Gourd Source and Hex swallow him up within the first few laps on their fresh rubber?
Yeah, and Jesper must have benefited from the positioning of the Red Bull pit box, because they were definitely not in first. And now he's ahead of Gourd Sauce, Hex, and Electric Days. So
yeah, that's a good spot.
I'm wondering if the fact that he was able to dive in quicker then blocked the other guys in.
Yeah, I've seen some interesting things. It could be that. Maybe I have seen situations where drivers brake later than the other into the pit box and kind of sneak it around the outside of that pit entry line.
Oh, got it.
Sort of cut in front at the last minute. Especially here, where actually I think it's quite a hard braking zone into the pit entry if you're not used to it. It's not difficult once you've memorized it, but it is kind of a sudden left-hander, isn't it? And then you slam on the brake. So maybe he just had a bit more commitment, a bit more experience, and well, either way, he's certainly done really well there under the safety car period.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I tried to nail that entry, and every time I tried I would get a penalty, so I actually slowed down way before the left turn.
Yeah, I think that honestly would be more likely to be, I think, the culprit for me, is that everyone did what you just said, and Jesper maybe just slightly more committed and ran around the outside of a couple of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be really interesting to hear from him afterwards what happened there. But it is an unusual race in the sense that the top 6 have decided not to pit, so track position for the fastest runners of P7 through P10 are actually finding themselves pretty much at the back of the grid. So yeah, quite an interesting dynamic. I'm really looking forward to this next stint of the race, really.
Yeah, there's a safety car lining here. People on newer tires trying to get past people on older tires, and the soft runners will have tremendous grip for the next 3 laps. I actually did a safety car restart in the Prem race, and I had, because I caught someone napping, I had roughly 1.5 seconds advantage by the first corner, and then the guys on the softs that were able to pit, because I wasn't able to, they caught me up by sector 2. I had no chance. Hey, Tar Heels is gone.
Yeah.
And it looks like they caught some people napping there.
Like Demir has really nailed that restart.
Yeah, Demir trying. Oh no, not trying. The Hammer finds himself in 4th after that first lap.
Oof, round the outside, the Hammer.
Wow.
Of Demir.
Well done.
Fantastic driving
on mediums.
Making up for that lap 1.
Yeah, so those softs are basically dead. Demir trying to push it. Oh, there will be contact. Oh!
No, that happens again! Into Demir, who's in real trouble, does not look happy. I think he's stabilized the car, but big impact into the side of his car. Does he have side pod damage? Hard to tell from here.
Oh, and Cersei is out.
Oh.
And
VSC, and a 5-second penalty for Mr. Hex for causing a collision, I believe. Well, no, sorry, it was a collision with Mr. Hex. Sorry, the penalty going the other way. Going to Rusty.
And I was wrong, Cersei's not actually out of the race. They just have a missing front wing. Oh no, it's... Wait. What's going on here?
Absolute chaos.
Oh, Rusty is out. Well, Rusty is out.
Yeah, Rusty just retired from the session. Hakeskran 20 seconds down, running very slowly. Let me just follow him and see how his car's looking.
We
it
have
seems okay, I believe.
Full-on safety car again.
Oh no, yeah, so Hakeskran missing a front left end plate, and a safety car has come out, as you say. Hakeskran will be pitting. This is crazy, so really, I think Tar Heels, Cheese, Hammer, I think it's probably about the right time to pit. Obviously, if you're Hakeskran, you're going to have to pit.
Yeah. At this point,
is that a Red Bull?
At this point, I would go I mean, if they're able to go on the mediums, if they had already pitted again, I would go on the mediums, but if not, I'll go on the hards. Jesper's pitting again, probably for a set of mediums.
Yeah, I was about to say. Jesper with, I think, no damage, electing to go on onto the medium tyre. So is he going to try and run the medium to the end? I think he will be.
Shockingly, Tar Heels and Cheese did not pit.
Wow.
9 lap old mediums. I'm going to call that right now. That's a mistake.
Yeah, that does seem wrong. But maybe they think that there's going to be yet another safety car on a restart, and then they'll pit. You know, maybe they're just outsmarting all of us.
Yeah, possibly. And I'm also wondering about Hex and Gourd Sauce, if they may not have another medium available, because they also stayed out on those softs. Let me try and have a look
at that for you. So Mr. Hex pitted once medium to soft tyre. So he should have another set of mediums.
Yeah, I guess unless they chose the softer tire strategy.
Agreed. That would be an odd choice though. But yeah, if we assume the balanced selection, then he should have another medium. Gourd Sauce, similar strategy. So again, yeah, as provided they select the balanced tire allocation, they should have another medium. And I think Jesper's done the right thing. I definitely would have gone onto a medium at this point and then run to the end.
Oh yeah, it should be way faster than the hard. So we only have.
I wonder if Tar Heels or Cheese will actually pit. I know obviously the grid's bunched up, it will take them to the back, but I just feel like they need to pit because this SC has probably got another lap in it due to High Scram being 27 seconds behind the grid. So that's another lap, brings them onto lap 11. And at that point, the mediums will be getting tired anyway.
Yeah, you may have a good point. I mean, they won't lose that much actually, and they'll have one more lap on those mediums.
The other thing for them is because they're on the medium, I think a soft tyre for 15 laps or 14 laps, that I think that's difficult. I'm not an expert, but that seems like a difficult push.
Yeah, I wouldn't personally. It'll be fast at first, but looks like they're both not pitting. Interesting.
Yeah, I guess at this point you just ride it out and hope that something else happens. Also, they haven't put much effort, I assume, or stress into those medium tyres. So they probably have got another 4 laps of half decent pace in them. But maybe they'll do. I know Tar Heels is a real specialist of ending on a soft tyre. So I could definitely see him doing 4 more laps on this medium and then pitting onto the soft.
Yeah. And as you said, the chance of another SC is pretty high. And those 10 lap old mediums are probably closer to 6 lap old mediums with these 2 safety cars. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. It's interesting. I can tell from first-hand experience from my race that the mediums started feeling awful after roughly 8 to 9 laps.
Okay.
But we didn't have as many brakes.
Yeah, exactly. I think they've got probably another 2 laps in them without being too bad, just due to the safety cars. I assume the safety car will be in this lap.
Should be. Let's check if there's anything on Discord here.
So both Williams out today. So another, I think this may well be the 3rd or 4th consecutive weekend with a double DNF for Williams or DNF/DNF for Williams. So really just not working out. Williams actually at the bottom of the constructor standard by quite some margin in Tier 1 this season. So a lot of work to do to turn it around. But not, still plenty of races to go.
Aiden, stuff happens. Just keep your head up high. I'm just reading some messages on Discord here. Sorry. So we let's stay on top here with Cheese. See when Tar Heels decides to go. Is he gonna pull a blinder and go into the pits now? Oh, and they're being slowed down. Oh, they went too early.
I think Electric Pavement hit the wall from all of that. He's been a bit swallowed up.
Oh, that gave it to Mr. Hex there for a second. Oh, that's gonna...
it's absolute carnage. You've got that obscure Cheese now down in 4th. I think Gourd Sauce might try and go around the outside. No, thinks better of it.
Yeah, so Tar Heels went a bit too early there.
Gourd Sauce down the inside of Cheese, maybe. Will he go for the late move or will he back out? He's going to back out. Sensible driving.
Keeping it safe.
You've got Cersei around the outside of Jesper, who falls all the way down. Demure now getting swallowed up. Sorry, Cersei getting swallowed up by Demure even.
Yeah.
Cersei running really deep, tags into the back of Demure and loses his front wing for good measure. Not quite a safety car, but there could be a VSC from this. Big impact there. Demure very lucky to escape, as we've got Hex and Tar Heels making contact, I think, through that right-hander. Absolute scenes today.
So we missed it, but Electric Days got past Tar Heels, and now Mr. Hex. Electric Days has a nice 1.4 second cushion.
Yeah. I think Demure and Hammer coming together on that left hand. Demure getting sort of boxed out to the right, and Heistran says thank you very much and makes up the place, but I don't think there's any lasting damage between the two of them.
We have Cheese right behind Gourd Sauce here, but opting to stay behind for now.
Tar Heels just looking so slow on those medium tyres. Already falling out of the 1 second gap, I'd say, by the end of this lap, it might seem, to Mr. Hex. And yet, Gourd Sauce getting past quite easily in the end. Has to be a little bit careful on that left-hander, actually. Lots a bit of speed. Will Tar Heels come back? No.
Demure and Heistran slowing each other down tremendously there. And Cersei Sucks, of course, going into the pits.
Yeah.
A really consequential by Tar Heels and Cheese to stay out. Like, they're sticking to their guns.
Jesper overtaking Cheese into P5.
Yeah.
Quite a simple move in one.
Easy move, a lot more grip.
Will the Hammer now line up Cheese? And again, Cheese on these old mediums in the same boat as Tar Heels, just really struggling. You can just see that massive difference in grip between the two of them. Hammer was running into the back of Cheese. Tar Heels gets a 5 second pen for corner cutting, probably locked up his rears. I missed what happened, but unfortunate for him. I think they need to pit this lap.
Jesper's probably going to overtake them right now.
Stick move down the inside. Great wheel-to-wheel race if you flick onto that. As I say, the Hammer. I think third time unlucky for him. Had a lot of sideways action and contact wheel-to-wheel. It's such a hard track to fight alongside another car. Does really well, leaves a lot of space. Really respectful driving, but just puts that throttle on a little bit too early with a little bit too much rear lock, with a bit too much steering lock. And straight into that left-hand wall, and this time his front left wheel disconnects from the axle and it's all over for him.
Jesper and Tar Heels just had a nice battle down the straight. And it looks like it looks like we've hit some sort of cooldown again on the safety cars. That should have definitely been a safety car, but it's not come out. So we're at that stage of the race. Yeah, unfortunate for Tar Heels and Cheese because they didn't get the opportunity.
Hex versus Electric Days for P1. Massive battery issues. So Hex runs wide and smacks it straight into the wall, I think.
And Hex is out as well. Yeah, lost the wheel, he's out as well. And there will be no safety car. We're definitely in that... I find this really...
Mr. Hex having a good race. I saw it on board. He just slightly missed his braking point, I think, running wide to try and give a bit of room. And just understeered straight to that barrier. It was really tight margins. But yeah, afterwards, another DNF. Only 8 runners left in this race.
Wow. So considering, I mean, I'm really frustrated by this in the game where you hit this sort of weird internal cooldown and safety cars don't come out anymore. It's really strange. So that it's very beneficial to Jesper actually. He has the youngest tires. As Gourd Sauce makes a move on Electric Days.
And as you say that, Demure makes the move past Obscure Cheese into P5 as well. Yeah,
Demure also on really good tires that should go to the end. I'm a little bit worried about Gourd Sauce's and Electric Days tires, although Electric Days has the mediums on, so he may be okay. And he's trying to push Gourd Sauce into turn 1 over the curb. Very... Yeah, lucky they didn't come together there, because there's not much control of the car over that curb.
Yeah, a bit opportunistic from him. Gourd Sauce left just enough room, and they just avoided contact. But yeah, Gourd Sauce was not being scared off from that one.
Demur maybe getting Tar Heels.
Does seem very, very fast on these straights.
Yeah, must be running no wing at all. Demur gets past Tar Heels and will now want to catch up with Jesper. Oh, and
absolutely needs to if he's going to get a podium in this race.
It seems that there's a bit of lag going on. The cars are hopping around for me a bit. Jesper has caught up a second through Sector 2. And Electric Days surely will...
on these 8-lap-old softs is going to start to beat. As Electric Days one's a little bit wide, just corrects it.
Yeah, Jesper unfortunately did close to the same thing, but he should have caught DRS here. Oh no, just missed out. And we have...
Cheese passes Tar Heels, those two 14-lap-old runners. Tar Heels now getting swallowed up by Hayskran. Is Hayskran going to go for the double overtake?
Absolutely.
Yes, he is. Into P5 for the Aston Martin.
Wow, wow, wow. So the fresh tires are really making a difference here. The bad news is that they have to go for another 10 laps.
The back of Electric Days for P1.
Yeah, those guys fighting, it really gives it to Jesper. He will have DRS on the straight. Oh, and oh no, it must just lag.
And a switch at the back for Electric Days.
Yeah, so Gortsas going for the defensive overtake here. He does not want to be behind Electric Days, just simply because Jesper is right behind him as well.
Electric Days seems to be struggling a bit on corner exit with the traction, a little bit twitchy on that rear end. Needs to just settle down slightly. As you say, Jesper now is firmly in that DRS zone on slightly fresher mediums.
Wow. How did Jesper just hit the wall on my screen with tremendous speed but has no damage? I really don't know what happened there.
On mine, he seems okay.
Yeah.
I think just some lag.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. This is gonna be a pretty interesting sprint down the straight now. Okay, they're actually...
I still can't get over the fact that there's a race in Texas.
Yeah. I'm actually quite excited for the real life race. Because I think this kind of track will produce a lot of chaos.
Well, if this race is anything to go by, then expect a lot of DNFs and a lot of will-to-will action that doesn't always go according to plan. But these three are going to probably offer up quite an interesting race. I think ever since lap 1, they looked like the standouts, along with sort of Demure and Mr. Hex, whose races haven't quite gone according to plan. But it's really cool to see three cars so close to each other, giving a lot of room. I think Dortsource now is going to go for quite an easy overtake. Electric Day is definitely struggling on those 10-lap-old mediums. I think he's in a position where he might need to now pit onto soft tyres. I think he's really gone past that cliff edge point.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
The nice thing about this group of 3 here is they can actually tow each other away from the rest of the field and possibly give themselves easy pit stops in case of safety cars.
Yeah. I have to say I'm surprised that Gordsource seems to have so much traction on those 10-lap-old softs. Honestly, his tyres look in better condition than Electric Days.
Yeah, I agree. However, he's not able to detach himself. Let's see what happens this time around. Jesper is a bit closer. But then again, you might not want to be too eager to lead until basically lap 24. Hey.
It's almost like an oval race.
Yeah.
At this point. Oh, so much sideways action for Gordsource, just trying so hard. But yeah, as you say, every DRS zone, it just seems to alternate.
Gordsource pitting.
Jesper now. Okay, yes, Gordsource into the pits, yes.
Sees no way around it. I mean, I'm pretty sure Electric Days will have the same fate, but I do believe that Jesper will be able to go to the end. Question is whether the guys can catch him on softs.
Yeah, advantage Jesper at this point in the race.
Yeah, Gortsas
going to easily get past Days on those warm mediums with the traction issues he's got. He's really struggling in sector 1.
Bit of lag here again. Gortsas going for a new set of softs. Same with Cheese and Tar Heels, who actually pitted on the lap before that. But Gortsas is way ahead of them.
Definitely the right move to go on softs now.
Yeah, lots of sliding here. Electric being very smart with their ERS. So even if we get another safety car now, Gord's pretty golden because those softs should be fine.
Yep, they'll be absolutely fine till the end, and Electric Days finds himself in a very difficult position that we've all been in as drivers, because I just do not think he's going to be able to pass Jesper with that three lap differential in tyre and wear. I mean, he might get a few moves with DRS, don't get me wrong, but I think come the end of the race, I think Jasper will outdo him. So then it comes down to, okay, does he now pit? Does he react to Gordsource for second place and pit onto the soft? But I'm looking at the delta, and if he was to pit now, he'd already come out, I think, a couple of seconds behind Gordsource. So he's committing to staying out. It'll be interesting to see if that's the right decision. I think I'd pit, but he wants to bring this fight to Jesper, and you've got to say fair play for doing so.
Yep. So currently Gortsas is 17 seconds behind. That's a huge gap to bridge, even on fresh softs, but we'll see how he can do. He will definitely be catching them by at least a second a lap, but he needs to do more than that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But as I say that, he's caught up a second in Sector 1.
Sensible strategies.
So this might actually work out for Gortsas, as he's catching them by a second in one sector. So Jesper's job here is to somehow drop Electric Days out of DRS.
I think it's going to be very tough. It's going to be that sort of DRS alternation between them 1 and 2 for the foreseeable.
Yeah, and it might actually help them against Gord.
Agreed. I think you summarised it really well earlier, saying that you can actually just tow each other along. Just you do it this lap, I'll do it next lap.
Electric Days going for it.
I get my second place.
Yeah, Electric Days has gone past on the DR straight. And so I said 17 seconds, Lucas 8. It's now down to 14.
Mad.
Okay, so that's 3 seconds a lap if they can keep that up. So we're looking at lap 23, possibly reconvening. However, there are some people to pass there for Gortsas, and obviously the tires will deteriorate, so
yeah,
we'll see how this goes. I think
he'd only have 2 more laps. He'd only have 2 more laps of this sort of phenomenal pace. He's clearly putting a lot of stress into those tires. Completely understandable. He's got to try something.
Oh yeah.
I don't think there's going to be enough in FC, so it's all or nothing at this stage.
And
I think he can at least close into high scrap.
Yeah, third is definitely on the cards for Gord. So basically, he could have finished third even if he didn't pit. So there was no risk in taking that. Jesper trying to go around Electric Days in Sector 2. That's interesting. That's interesting. I thought staying behind here would have been better.
Agreed. Good management and awareness from Electric Days, though, to not understeer wide into Jesper and cause yet another incident. Oof! Jesper just about not hitting that wall.
Yeah.
Wow. What an interesting race this is turning into. Because I think at this point Jesper's tyres will also start to wear a little bit. So I think there's kind of that crossover period.
Highscran going for the move on Dimmer.
Quite warm. Okay.
Highscran getting past.
Good spot.
And both are fairly low on the ERS, so we'll see how that develops.
I think Gordsource is going to want third and fourth Highscran and Dimmer to fight as much as possible at this stage. Great race from Highscran actually coming back after a few weeks off, I believe. Good
Agreed,
pace.
and they had crashed out in qualifying, unfortunately, as well, starting last.
Yeah.
So Gortsas now 10 seconds behind.
Who were the winners and losers? But to be honest with you, Okay, Gourd Sauce is a big loser, down 4. Jasper's staying where he is. The others have all increased massively just because of the amount of DNFs. So, for example, Hex down 6, Hammer down 6, myself down 7, Bronco down 9, just all from those DNFs. But Highstrand, the biggest winner, definitely driver of the day at the moment, up 11 places. Oh, as I say that though, bit of a sideways moment, but corrects it.
From Highstrand?
Yeah, Highstrand having a bit of a twitch of difficulties, let's say, the back end twitching on him. And I think Demure is going to get the place back potentially if he lines up this next corner correctly.
Yeah, it looks like Gourd Sauce may just get the DRS.
Oh, let's have a look.
Yeah, he got it. That's crucial as Electric Days and Jesper swap around again. Demure gets past Highstrand and Gourd Sauce might just follow. He's a bit too far out.
Oh, is he going to go for the late move? No, he's not sensible.
No, that's a death sentence around here.
Hey, I've seen many cars DNF. Anything can happen.
Gourd gets a big snap, and Jesper is actually almost a second ahead of Electric Days. Is he going to be able to drop the DRS here through turn 1?
Wow.
He is. So
very good driving from Jesper. So smart and controlled. Sensible on those tyres. Hitting at the right times. It's really paying dividends now towards the end of this race. Electric Days' tyres just getting really worn. Gourd Sauce getting past Demure into 3rd place. So back where he started before he pit. But 7 seconds behind with only 3 laps to go.
Yeah, that's going to be rough. So it's slowed down to roughly 2 seconds a lap now. However, both Electric Days and Jesper will not have DRS, so it's a level playing field between these 3. So it all comes down to grip. Electric Days' mediums will have really bad grip at this point. Jesper's will still be alright, but not brilliant. But the gap of 8 seconds remains so far.
And also, don't forget that on those warm mediums, it's so easy to just understeer into a barrier or make a mistake. It is a street circuit after all, so Electric Days has got to balance. You know, if he's going to kind of almost give up on that first place, he's just got to keep it clean and be super careful on worn tyres, because the last thing you want to do is make a mistake and give up a place to Gourd Sauce.
Absolutely.
Just reading the chat in Twitch, it looks like there's an avid Gourd Sauce fan.
Oh yeah.
He's very happy about Gourd Sauce.
That's great to see. Love to have some viewers. 7 people watching right now. And Gourd Sauce, yeah, now 7.5 behind, so...
Oh! Highstrand runs really wide.
Ooh.
Sliding all over the place on those warm mediums. Trying to catch up with Demure, that's unfortunate.
I'm very impressed by Electric Days. 16 lap old mediums. Let's say they're maybe 12 laps old in reality, but keeping it up. And yeah, Gourd Sauce not catching up as fast as I thought he would. Oh, gets a bit of a snap as well. That costs a lot of time around here.
Yeah,
costs him almost half a second.
He's 2 seconds down through sector 1 on his fastest lap.
Alright. Who's actually holding fastest lap right now? It is Gourd Sauce with a 134.9. That's really fast. That's almost a quali lap.
Yeah, no one at all doubting Gourd Sauce's pace and qualified potential. A very solid driver. Perhaps a driver that's looking for a promotion to Premier Tier, and certainly him and Jesper have fantastic pace and look prime or in prime position for those promotions. I think Electric Day is still a bit newer to the league, but so far proving that he is a great driver.
Yeah, Tier 1 full of really good drivers this season, so I wouldn't be surprised if we have half a dozen people getting promoted. Yeah, Jesper extending that gap to Electric Days, no surprise there. And Gourd Sauce just, those softs, they're on the same level as those mediums now by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think that mistake didn't help him, but I think Electric Days has just been so sensible. He's not overly pushing the tyres. He might lose a second a lap, but that doesn't matter.
No.
I think Gordsource has just run out of tyre life, as you say, as well. So the race kind of settling down a little bit. Like the Jimmy or High Scram battle was kind of interesting, but I think even that's slightly sort of simmering out at this stage of the race.
Yeah, agreed. Basically,
Oh, wow.
people just have to keep it clean now.
Fastest lap from Tar Heels, very nice.
Ooh, Gortsas goes straight on into the runoff.
Oh,
Demur and Heisgrand caught him. So those softs are really, really falling off.
1 lap to go though still. 1 lap to go and only 1.5 down, I believe, on Heisgrand. 1.3.
Yeah, they can recover.
Wow, what an intro. Well, after saying the race had settled down, we suddenly have a real...
Wow.
Tar Heels on Cersei as well. You might want to follow that. Down in P8, but looking like he's going to get the move done on Cersei. Oh, and Electric Days into the pit.
What?
Electric Days into the pit and a 5-second speeding penalty. Onto the softs, going to drop down to sort of P5, maybe P5 with a 5-second penalty. This is absolutely insane. He didn't change his front wing. Maybe he had a puncture. Maybe the tyres just died. I have no idea.
That's the only thing that could explain it to me. Because that's a very,
and
very
all of a
strange
sudden,
move.
Electric Days finds himself in 5th with a 5-second penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think really now it's going to come down to, can Gordsource get back past Heisgrand? Of course, he lost 2 places with that spin that you saw last lap, Ramsey. And it's,
yeah.
I mean, the way he's shaping it up, especially with the battery life, it could be his. But it's all coming down to the wire here at Vegas in PRL Tier 1.
Gordsource will have DRS and has a bit of an ERS advantage. Question is whether he can still stop these soft tires at the end of the straight.
Battery blinking.
Yeah. Oh, and takes the corner very wide.
Exit from Gordsource. I think sliding tapping that wall.
Yeah, that's a slam dunk right here.
You got to feel the Heisgrand. 15 lap old medium tyres though, it was always going to be difficult, and Gordsource using every bit of his battery to ensure a podium finish.
Absolutely.
As we say that, Jesper has crossed the line.
Oh,
and he
I'm
won the race.
So sorry about that, Jesper. Congratulations. I missed you. There was so much going on behind you. And yeah, Heisgrand just missing out a little bit, but look at that. Made up 10 places from his qualifying. So amazing result for Heisgrand. Gordsource finishes in 3rd, so realistically they didn't lose anything really, because that top group of 3 could have swapped around basically till the end of the race. And Demur, really good job here, back-to-back 2nd places from Brazil, and a haul of points for AlphaTauri. Really, really impressive. Congrats to the 8 finishers. This is a tough track. And so we end up with Jesper winning. Really, really good decision making. Called the strategy perfectly. Pitted onto the fresh mediums under that safety car. And that was Vegas. I told you it's way better than Baku.
I'm just reading Aiden's comment in the Twitch. I think even Jesper knows that he is #1 to be promoted to Premier. I think he's having his fun in Tier 1. He's managed to he somehow wangled his way to that Tier 1 this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like maybe I should try that. Maybe if I DNF the rest of all my races this year, I'll go down to Tier 2.
Well, then I'm sure a very motivated Tier 2 driver would love to prove you wrong. All right, let's go through the classification. It's Jesper in 1st, 2 stops, Demur in 2nd, after 2nd in Brazil last week, so great result. Gordsource starting in 1st, ending 3rd, good recovery in the end. Heisgrand in 4th, tremendous result from 14th, and Electric Days. Yeah, we'd love to hear what happened there. Maybe you're right with the puncture. Cheese on a 1 stop, same as Heisgrand in 6th. And then we have Tar Heels with a great result in 7th, Sushi Sucks in 8th. Those are our finishers. And then the non-finishers, Mr. Hex, The Hammer, Rusty Oil Can, Nico John, Lucozade, haven't heard of that guy, and Bronco.
Rubbish. Yeah, unfortunate for Bronco.
Yeah, that lap 1 incident, really not much you can do about it.
Tar was with the fastest lap as well. I don't know if you mentioned that again, but that's really good to see. Quite like the strategy of starting towards the back and racing through the order.
Yeah, well done. So 2 extra points for Tar Heels.
That was a fun race. Yeah, thanks for having me on. Very unexpected, but it's good to be here.
Yeah, it's fun to commentate on your own tier, eh?
That's what it's gone to now. I think I have to retire at this point.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining. This was Performance Racing League in its 8th season, round 7 around Las Vegas. The next race, I believe, from memory, should be Spain. Let me double check that. So if you would like to join us again, it'll be next Sunday from 9 a.m. onwards, in my time at least, Pacific Standard Time. I believe it's 5 p.m. Greenwich time, or whatever you call it.
Yeah, BST, British Summertime.
There you go. So our next race is coming up: Race 8, Spain; Race 9, Belgium; and Race 10, Monaco. And then the rest of the season is France, Portugal, Italy, as in Monza, and finishing off with Qatar. We'll see if we have more than 10 finishers in that race.
Well, plenty of races to go. Definitely not a done deal with regard to the championship, but certainly Jesper, Gord Source, I think even Jamur, to be fair, a couple of the others, they're putting markers down. They're starting to pull a bit of a gap at this stage now to the rest of the field. So congrats to them, racing really well. And I think big shout out to Ramsey, commentator today. Thanks for commentating as always. And for those who don't know, myself, Lucozade, normally commentating Premier or Tier 2. But yeah, really good to be here as well.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks for joining. It's definitely more fun with 2 people. Are you going to be commentating Tier 2 today?
No. I need to do some bits and pieces.
All right.
Unfortunately for work, but yeah, I will definitely be back next week, maybe for Premier Tier comms and then Tier 1 race. But yeah, to everyone else, thanks so much for tuning in, and yeah, massive shout out to Ramsey again.
Cheers. Thanks, man. And everyone else, see you next Sunday. Bye bye.